Before the summer hit, I had the opportunity to politic with one of my favorite comedians, Desi Alexander, after his set at Houston Improv in Houston, Texas. It's always so great when the person you consider your big brother in your head can be just like a big brother in real life when you first meet them. A driven and dedicated individual, Desi attributes his success to a plethora of experiences. His anecdotal approach to comedy comes from his life and those around him and is fueled by the support of his family and friends, as well as the never forgotten encouraging voices gone too soon. Desi has a work ethic that keeps him humble and in tune with himself, his family, and the anticipating crowd. And he goes from city to city, sharing his memories in relatable pockets of detail, lined with the healing amusement that is pure hilarity. Enjoy. Hi, Desi.
Hello. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you being here, man. Awesome, man.
No problem for this over here since you got the light voice. So tell me about what inspires you.
Just life experiences, man. Being able to tell a story that can carry on, forever, that lives beyond me, like my parents and my family, and just relating to everybody and telling everybody's story with stand-up, making people laugh, and just bring a bunch of people that don't even know each other in one place just to enjoy each other's company and enjoy comedy. So
yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, you actually did, because I was sitting by myself and then all these people all of a sudden needed some seats. I was like, well, listen, as long as I got a good view of everybody, you guys can sit around me. Yeah. So you brought strangers together, got each other's numbers, laughing, joking, networking.
That's what's up, man.
All right, so now how do you remember your monologues?
I look at my jokes like an album. You gotta look at it like somebody's concert and how they have a set list of songs that they're gonna do, and I just go over my list and I practice them, and then go over my bangers, and I use words at the end of one joke to start the next couple jokes, and at the end of that topic, some word sparks off the next. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a song. It's like a long album I do.
So has it ever been like an album skip and you like, oh damn, where my words at?
Sometimes you get crowd participation. Sometimes you have a brain fart, or sometimes you just feel like saying or doing something else and you kind of go off the grid. But I'm very stick to the script, because that's how I was raised under a house of people. My mother was a playwright. You got a script, stick to it. That's how I always am with spoken material. So yeah.
That's how it goes. All right. Now, how many times have you been heckled?
I've heckled a few times, man, and it's really it's a part of the show. And I always say you can enjoy the show or you can be the show. And you better hope I can't see you, but sometimes you can't see the person, so you can only just go off. You can't see the person, you can just make up stuff about the person. So that way they can't really say anything because you're making something up that's not even true. They're like, hey, I don't even do that, but it's too late because you're in the dark. So
you already put the spotlight on yourself.
Yep.
So the way you normally handle your hecklers is usually by just making them a part of the show.
Making them part of it. And
you have volunteered to be the spotlighted person.
Yeah. And then you just move right on.
So how long have you been a comedian?
I always say since LeBron's first year.
Since
LeBron was a rookie, I was a rookie.
And what was the moment that made you say, damn, I'm really a comedian? Or were you always speaking that into existence?
I always spoke it, but I always felt like I don't know if it's gonna translate on stage, because I'm funny around my friends. And one of my first friends that told me I should do stand up was in 12th grade. He used to I used to tell stories from hanging with my older brother, because he used to have mad grown adult stuff happening around him, and I would tell all my little 13, 14-year-old friends, and then my 12th grade year, he would take me to different cafeteria tables, making me tell the same story about some little freak party I went to with my brother. And he was like, yo, you tell the story like it just happened every time I take you to these tables, and you should do stand-up. He's like, that's what stand-up is. And I was like, man, I don't know how to do it in front of people. And I started trying to write jokes, and I didn't feel like it was coming out right. But once I actually got on stage and wrote my little 5-minute set, the first burst of laughter from the whole crowd, I just remember standing there like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. So now, this is what you're doing right now. I know that you're expanding into a few other things. Tell me what you've expanded into since, maybe even since last year. So I know that you were doing some consulting work on a few movie sets or TV shows.
Yeah.
So tell me more about those projects.
Just being in the room, man. My acting coach, his name is Lion Beckwith, he actually put me in a lot of situations just because he always see me on stage and he always look at me like, why you so like humble and real chill? Like you just did an hour acting out all these characters. He's such a serious actor. He like, you need to walk around like and act like that. I'm like, I don't want to be no a-hole to people, but he sort of put me in different rooms and just people I network with throughout shows, and I write a lot. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot to offer as far as like script writing and just ideas, and I sometimes I can't turn it off. I got an ADD, so I just
ADD
or
ADHD or
both of them. I got both of them. So I just use that to my advantage, and I just try to expand.
I call that the
talent.
octopus brain. I have that, but do you complete what you start though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's how I am.
Because I have a conscience to say, don't be, man. Even if I know it's not going to be used, you know what I'm saying? I got to finish it because once I know sometimes time always does a funny thing of returning something that you did before. It's going to make, like if I tell young comedians, if you write a joke now, it may not make sense at all right now. Don't get rid of it. Because as you get older, as you go through your life experiences, you will find a way to finish that joke. Don't throw nothing away. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a great writer. I love writing, so just being in different rooms and expanding as far as just networking with TV stuff, movie stuff. And now this year, I think everything that was closing doors on me in 2020 is opening back up now.
Right.
Because I had momentum, and as soon as 2020 started, I was just like, I'm on the roll. And then once
get it done.
And then once the pandemic hit, I was like, everything's starting to slow down. There was so many doors opening for me, but I feel like now it's that energy is coming back around me again. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me 3 other projects that you're working on right now that you're very proud of.
Oh man, tonight's special guest is a sketch comedy show on Amazon right now.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's actually on there, man. I'm really excited about that, man.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
You know, you my play brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I got family everywhere, man. But that's something we've been working on since November. We got all 9 episodes already filmed. Episode 1's on there now. We're working on 2 and the rest and everything.
Okay.
Of course, you know, me and Jess building up on the tour, adding more material in this movie I'm filming. Actually, Tommy Davidson is in it.
Okay.
Jake the Snake, RVD. It's like a wrestling movie. You know what I'm saying? And
that was the one. Yeah, that was the one I was saying. You were so you're gonna be acting? I thought you were just consulting.
I'm in it too. I thought I was just like gonna have a small role, but I ended up. They was like the directors and everybody kind of know me for stand up. And they were just like, no, you have the way you write sometimes, like it's like an unfinished. Every sketch, if you notice, every sketch I do could be a movie, it could be a character.
It could. I feel there like I was like,
it
this is gonna be like this little stalker, but I just feel like this is too funny.
Yeah, and being I'm kind of directing the comedic humor in the movie. Like I'm just constantly just sitting there throwing in stuff and making things like beefing up the script on the funny side of things. But it's a great movie. I'm not sure when that comes out, but we really literally are in the middle of filming it right now.
Okay.
And what else?
Is it hard to tour and then have that responsibility too?
Yeah, sometimes because filming is just like on the spot stuff. Like they will call me right now, like we got to be there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even be knowing until like literally a
so
day
you kind of
before.
like, I don't know if I even got permission right now.
Right, I don't even know. So
back.
and luckily they kind of look at my schedule sometimes and see, but they know Desi not gonna be sitting at home waiting. You know what I'm saying? Desi be moving. So and then luckily they be throwing me right into the mix when I'm not on tour. Sometimes they do it like Monday through Thursday because they know I gotta leave Friday.
Right.
And they don't move. Sometimes I be amazed because they don't be moving until I'm there. They don't like be getting started until I get there. I'm not like I'm late, but they just always like they'll do a scene and everybody look at me like, is that like that? Yeah, that was good. So
that's what it's like when you're the consultant. You're the go-to person.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I was saying earlier about your humbleness. It emits off of you like in a strong wave. You can tell that even with all of this success, you're still at this place of wow. I mean, I expected this of me because I know me. But at the same time, even though it's right here, it's like, thank you, God. I'm not going to be arrogant about it because I don't have to be that person.
And that's
I can
why
still be successful regardless.
That's why I'm moving. That's why I feel like I'm moving.
I love it. That's why I said you fam. Let's see here. Now, are you alone or off stage? Because like the dedication that you talk about with the writing, I can see you being like, the laughs and jokes is finished. I'm not on a stage. A camera's not in my face. I'm in here with this.
Yep. I immediately go into my little cocoon
with a little quill on the top of your.
Just leave me alone. I don't want to need
on your John Hancock.
Yep. And you can ask anybody from home. I will go to open mics, and once I get off stage, after all this big energy on stage, I come right down off stage and be sitting there back on my laptop writing the script or some random stuff that I be thinking of in the moment, just sitting there. Like, why you just be in the back like a little creep in the back? Like, I like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just like to be by myself, even when I'm in a room full of people. It's like being by myself.
I got big star energy, but I don't need big star energy to make it happen.
Yeah.
I got you.
My social energy, my battery's going down. So.
Are you an introvert, extrovert, or what's the what?
Ambivert.
Ambivert.
I'm an introvert.
That was one of my favorite social media skits that you did.
Because you know how to shut down. You're like, all right, this is enough people in right now. I need to get away from that.
I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert introvert. I can do stuff like this when I have to. But I recharge with people that, like, 2 or 3 people. Once 4th person, I'll be like, so who about to leave? Or do I need to leave?
Somebody, new person.
It's a new person. I don't want you here. I don't even know you. How did you get our address?
In the tighter circle, the more you comfortable with that circle. So
Definitely recognize
what's your thing, man? I don't
understand.
Yeah,
I don't really get it. So now, I don't know about all the different categories of comedy. So what is your category of comedy? Like, what is it considered?
Family-oriented, relationships, kids,
basically your life.
Things, just relatable things that we all go through, man.
Relatable comedy.
Yep.
Now, what job did you have before you were a comedian?
I had plenty of them, as a comedian.
But like right when you was like,
Yep.
This job.
Teaching.
I wanted it was teaching.
Yep.
That's right. I do remember that in some of your previous.
I was just telling another comedian I had to step out of that, like being a teacher comedian and just wanting to paint myself in that realm of just being a great comedian. I don't want to be just known for just being a teacher all the time. When I first really was like going on tour, I had a lot of teacher material, which I still do.
Right.
But I just want to be known as a great comedian. That was a part of my life. I can give you that, but I had to like really take my social media and kind of focus on everything.
Me.
Yeah, don't
don't typecast.
But teaching, man, and teaching it made me a strong comedian too, because if you can hold the attention of 30 kindergartners, like that's stand-up is nothing compared to that. Like, because I used to have to find different ways every day. Because when you were and I saw it from pre-K to 8th grade, so I had to learn how to. My mother was a teacher too, so I had to learn how to teach for the kids that learn fast, the kids that learn regular, the kids that learn slow, the bad kids. I had to have the same lesson already laid out.
My hat goes off to you. I didn't know that I could do
all
it.
All teachers, people don't realize how the struggle of a teacher, man. Like,
no, I understand. Like, I could have had some of my student loans taken down if I had gone to be a teacher. I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just pay y'all what you say. Oh, you what I gotta write? What check I gotta write?
And I snuck in the back door as a sub.
I was wondering, did you start as a sub, or were you a sub the whole time?
I was a sub.
So if you snuck in through as a sub, did you when you started doing comedy, did you kind of say, let me go back to subbing?
I was already doing stand up, but I used to work at a cell phone store, and one of my customers used to be like, you always play with people's children when they come in here, and you should try subbing. And that was fun, being a sub, because you don't know when you're going to be at somebody's school. They call you right now. You're going to be at
kind of like you're consulting.
Yeah, like you're going to be prepared for the worst. You can go to some hood schools. You don't know what you're going into.
Like Lord Jesus.
And then the one school that liked me a lot, I became popular within a week. And it was like, we just going to keep you here and hire you separately from that company you work for, because they're going to fire you anyway. But they told me a week before I got fired, I was going to get fired. And right when that day they said I was going to fire, they called me like, yeah, so we had a downside. Like, it wasn't lying. It was telling the truth. But luckily, the principal was dope, and he hired me through another company, and I stayed there for about 5 years. Yeah.
So when did you just how long has it been since you just stopped teaching at all?
2016.
Oh, okay, for a while.
Okay. That's when I was there. 2016 Halloween, the day on Halloween, I quit that day. I remember that's when people say God talked to you. God talked to me that night. It was like this is it. You're not gonna make it another year teaching. You're gonna have to do stand up full time. And I just started having anxiety the night. It was like the night before Halloween. I told my mother, and she was just like, if that's what you spoke into you, then you need to do it. And I was just like, all right. And I quit on Halloween. And I started doing the videos full time. And I had my little bread saved up, maxed out a couple little credit cards. I'm just live off this for a minute and just stand up service, and it worked, So I was doing Uber lifts. I got Uber lift material too. I was Uber lifting. It was a lot, man. Like doing that little.
You was Uber and lifted.
I was Uber and lifted.
You had both of the stickers on there. Where my pen goes to? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's their pen. All right, let's see here. So now, what has been the hardest obstacle being a comedian?
Being on the road,
Well, just anything. Is there ever a time that you really just kind of say? Has there ever been a time that really just made you say, "I don't know if I can continue doing this because," was it back when you were maxing out the credit cards?
It was 2 times. I always tell comedians there's a time in your career when you start doing stand-up, maybe the third year of stand-up, when the magic wears off, your co-workers not coming to see you no more, your family not coming to see you no more, and it's strictly just you hitting stages and you building a new audience. I always tell people, if you can make it through that, because that's when you have no support really. Because everybody has seen your little 5 minutes over there. It's not the fun thing in the family no more. You're like, no, I gotta work tomorrow. I ain't that point, you be really like questioning yourself. And then when my wife got pregnant, I was like, I don't know if Columbia is paying enough. I'm gonna have to just stop and really buckle down and work, because I'm not gonna have her out here like just not being supported financially like I need to. And she was like, no, don't stop. I would, if you weren't good at it, I would have been told you to stop. I would have said, yeah, maybe you need to go check out FedEx.
When you talk about your wife, I be feeling like she and I are kindred. Like I be having that same energy. Like, nah, if you wasn't good, baby, I would have told you. I would have told you. She's like, nah, but I don't want you to ever stop. And you're so happy doing this. You're so good at it. Don't ever stop. You know, and literally, it's good to have a partner that's supportive like that.
Man. It's really important, man. That's the one thing. Another thing comedians need, man. Somebody, even if you single, that's fine, but when you have somebody that's there with you day in and day out, if you throughout the grind, it makes the transition so much easier. And like the same year I was like still Uber lifting, that's when I hit the tour with me and Jess, and I was getting booked for stuff, you know, so it worked out because I just stayed to it. I just like didn't doubt.
You have to remember, it started with God speaking to you. When God speaks to you, He don't just, you know, He got other stuff to do. He not gonna just
white man in the class.
Right.
It's literally like a feeling, man. I can't even explain it, man.
Oh, and I understand that.
It's just like a feeling and a voice that was just like, bro, this ain't it. And I couldn't even control it. I was just like, what is something wrong with me? But it was just like, no, bro, this is it.
That's when God speaks to you in that way, that kind of power, that kind of direction to your purpose. And then aligns you with someone like your wife, and then the people who just surrounded you.
And then I'm stubborn, so it's like, now that this voice has said this, I can't not do it.
I can't unhear this bell that has rung.
I cannot unhear this voice. I can't not do what this voice says. And I just went with it, man. And I just trusted the process. I just felt like, I know I'm gonna struggle for a little bit. I know this is gonna be rough, but I'm built for it. So, and I'm so good on stage. It's gonna be fine. So yeah.
And confidence. Yeah. Which sign are you again?
Aquarius.
Air. You know, air can't be contained.
Okay.
It can't be contained. I tell people all the time, you flip a glass over, it's air on the outside, it's air on the inside, never contained. I'm a fire sign, I'm an Aries. So people think we're the strongest because we don't take no shit.
Right.
We burn it down to the ground, okay?
Everything.
Everything
in the way.
But I tell people all the time, as much as I would love that title, air wins, they amplify everything that they touch. So God knew what He was saying when He was saying to you, amplify. Like, I don't think I ever, in the times that we've had conversations, I was going through an extremely bad breakup, and someone sent me your video. I can't remember, and it's probably not even anywhere on your Instagram where you can easily access it. But it was like the one.
Like you gotta.
I would probably be scrolling for the rest of my life. But it was the one where you're involved with the woman who's more of a guy than you are. You was just like, so babe, when you go? And she's like, I don't know. At that time, I thought it was another person that was acting. I didn't realize you were doing. I was like, this man is so talented. You do it all, the voices. I mean, I was really convinced there was someone on another
person in the room.
I was like,
that was like a true experience. That's why I was really telling my story.
But it got me like in this headspace of, you know, it was just hilarious. I didn't even know that you guys were, you know, brother and sister at the time. It was just that people sit, like, you know, once you pick one person in that category, they like pull you up. They pull up what's his name? Tony Baker. Do I have it right?
Yeah.
You know, everybody got their Instagram handles, so I be messing up. But you three really just, I would stay up for hours at night just stalking the mess out of y'all pages, looking at every single thing that you guys just laughing till it was like tears in my eyes. And I started realizing that there was this real powerful, influential, and much needed niche of comedians, especially when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, man.
Like, the way that you and Jess and you know, Tony and his voiceovers when it comes to animals, like the way that you guys just, I mean, we talk about y'all all the time. Like, everybody that knows that I'm here today, like, oh man, you're gonna get a chance to meet Desi. I was like, I know I'm gonna get a chance to meet Desi. I be talking to him all the time. I be like, that's my brother. But on the inside, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I really get a chance to. I'm sure people tell you all the time, and I'm not saying that them telling you is not as important as me telling you, but I'm a fan, but I'm not like a fanatic fan. What I am is a person that just really like when I see you guys being humble with all the success that you have, I want you to know that we're not just laughing, we're healing from what you guys are doing. So I'm glad that you didn't stop when you realized this was your purpose, because we need this. And before I start crying, let's get back to this interview. All right, so let's see. What is your work philosophy?
Work philosophy, like kind of like how like my schedule, like
what's your workflow?
Formula. I love Mondays. I kind of like told myself, I kind of make up rules in my head to stick by, and I don't never like stray off of them. Like,
these the rules.
Yeah, I learned to love Mondays because Mondays is like a fresh start. It's fresh new ideas. You get another chance to change something or make something better, or because I used to hate Mondays when I used to work at, when I used to work at school. Sunday nights is like, oh God, I know I got this badass class on. But tomorrow, the
anxiety of a Sunday night before Monday.
And when you a teacher, especially because you know which kids is the worst. And my Monday, I used to have the worst children on Mondays. There was this class that they was just on their medicine, their seventh grade class, and this fourth grade class. I used to hate them, but it was always on Mondays. And I said I gotta reset my clock in my brain to say, love your Mondays, man. Enjoy your Mondays.
Right.
And that kind of helps me to speed through the week and just enjoying and appreciating it. And knowing when my creative juices are flowing, picking the certain times when I do all my writing, do all my recording, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to just enjoy what I do and never forgetting that now a lot of people get to do what I do. Just
right.
always being in that humble state of just enjoying it, so.
How long does, the time that it takes you to write and create aside, but the editing, like I said, now that I realize that you're doing all the voices, like how long does that, on average, how long is that taking you?
It only take about like 45 minutes, if that. It depends on how much sound I put into it or how much dialogue. It only take probably like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Sometimes I like to add more sound effects, and sometimes I may do something that'll scare people or some kind of prank or something. So it may take a little bit longer, but it'd be quick, man. But we in the TikTok time now, so everything is fast. But I still like to add the theatrics and just make my stuff different. But yeah, as long as you get good at it, yeah.
Do you have all this stuff on your laptop or you have it on your phone? Because I was like, what kind of expandable situation does he have? Because I do all of my work on my phone too, but every now and again I have to do this interview. I had to dump a few things, Google Photos had to be cleared out.
I had to learn to not be attached or married to anything in my phone.
Oh yeah, you had to
like the kid, like all my Zoe pictures and stuff. I keep them, but
she's hilarious.
I really almost when I had to switch my phone, they told me they had to delete all my photos. I almost started crying because I had so many baby pictures of Zoe. I was like, I gotta start sending this stuff to myself, man, because I had to get rid of all of it because I had so much.
You don't have like Dropbox or Google Photos?
I downloaded all that stuff, but some of it didn't go through. I was just like, oh my god, man, that really
you gotta change your settings from being Wi-Fi to being data, unless you have a strict data plan. So mine is unlimited, so I don't care.
I had to just start utilizing Dropbox and Google, all that stuff more. So yeah, that's important, man.
All right. Now, what is your biggest regret to date, and why? It doesn't have to necessarily be comedy unless you want that answer to be comedy.
Biggest regret? I try not to live off of regrets, but I think me being like, I guess hard on myself, I always think back to one time I didn't perform and I backed down, and I never backed down ever again after that. It was like I was going to get hired for like an event from somebody, and they did it backwards. They did the partying and the eating and a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning, and then said we're gonna throw a comedian up.
So now everybody
done ate, they done danced.
They like they talking over you and stuff.
And I said no. I said no, I'm cool, man. And I never lived it. In my mind, I should have took that as me closing and just did that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really care, but I'm so hard on myself. I went home like, dang, I should have said something. I should have just went up there and tried at least. You know what I'm saying? But I try not to hold on to regrets. I always think of stuff in the back of my mind that I wish could have happened. Like sometimes I wish my dad was still here, because it's not like I want to cry, but like I miss him so much. It's more so like, damn, I wish he could see this shit. Damn, I wish he could be here for this, because he supported my comedy career all throughout, man. He was always so proud of me. He would always be so focused on me on stage and watching me and stuff like that. and he would just be so happy for me right now. And the guy that told me to do stand up, his name is William Moody. The first person who told me to do stand up, he passed away the year I started doing comedy.
Oh, man.
So when I did my set and I did really good, I ran to his grandmother's house. I found out where his grandmother lived. Went to his house. She's like, he just passed away. He had like an ulcer or something like that, and he passed away. I was like, the main two people that was like so important to me getting to this point. I can't even show them. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing comedy for a different reason. You know what I'm saying? So some people do it for the clout, do it for the being seen and the money. But me, it's different, man.
It's the purpose. It's the purpose. All right, so let's try to move it fast along because I don't want her. She's like, get in here now. Let me see here. What is the most memorable moment that you've had in your career so far?
Memorable? Being booed off the Apollo. One of the most memorable.
Really?
Yep. Because that took my career to another level because I didn't stop. I could have quit. I could have, it was just such a terrible experience, man. It was like,
was it one of the ones that was recorded?
Yep. I can't even look at it to this day. My brother.
I'm laughing at you, my bad.
I can't even look at it. My brother let me sit in the room by myself. Like, I'll give you some time. And I sat there and I could feel myself deteriorating, just watching it, like watching my expression. I was just like, ooh, that just hurt me so bad, man. But yeah.
What is the funniest joke you ever heard?
Funniest joke I ever heard. Richard Pryor talking about boxing Muhammad Ali. So funny. His pantomime and that whole set, Richard Pryor live, when he's got the red shirt on, he's sweating. That whole set, him talking about boxing, makes me laugh every time. Because he's talking about just being in the ring with Muhammad Ali, and he said he got in the ring with me. He threw 6 punches a quarter inch from my face, like real fast. He was like, "Hold on, do you know this is a benefit?" He was scared, like he was going to hit him for real. But
I mean, I could imagine the wind up off of
yeah,
it.
he was just like, he was just doing it on purpose. He said, but before they fought, he was across the ring like, hold up, is he serious? So I love Richard Pryor, man. That's my guy, man.
I only have 2 more questions, and I'm gonna let you go. Give me your favorite quote. A quote that gets you going, keeps you focused.
Small thing to a giant.
Small thing to a giant. Explain it to me.
You go through stuff, man, and it's like it's just chipping away at how great you are. That's all it is. You can't look at it like something that's just holding you back. You gotta look at it as just chipping away at who you are, man. So, small thing to a giant. All the stuff I go through doesn't show out. Small thing to a giant. I actually have never heard
that one, and so I'm gonna hold on to that. And last one is a manifestation question. If you had nothing holding you back, not time, not money, not anything, what would you do? And you can use your imagination. Don't have to be anything that is stuck in gravity.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I have no regrets. I will bring everybody back that I wish I could bring back to be here to see it and enjoy it with me. But I would be doing what I'm doing right now.
Anything else you want to tell my Martians?
When you lose, don't lose the lesson. That's it, man.
If you're not first, you're nothing.
You're not first or last.
You're not first, you're last. Thank you very much, Desi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You guys be safe getting back.
Yes.